It's me again, the soundboard. I understand Mondays are hard for you flashbacks. Please, let me play some relaxing music for you before the show starts. I hope that was satisfactory for you. Now you are sufficiently prepared to enjoy the show. Without further ado, here is your Monday weekend report.
Yeah, sorry, James. My soundboard's still kind of messing up.
Yeah, see, it's fine. It's fine. Cause you know what? He got them smooth tunes.
Yeah.
He busts out them smooth tunes.
Well, you know, I threatened to bring in some tech support, and I guess he kind of
tech support must be
straightened
black.
out after that one. You know.
Yeah, he must be black. Yeah, I like that. That was smooth, that brother.
Yeah. Well. I don't know how many times he's gonna pop in like that, but.
I don't mind him popping in. Just don't scare me like that, like Dear Friday. That was too much.
Yeah, it was kind of freaky, right? And just all
weird.
of a sudden, this voice comes out of nowhere.
I had a whole bunch of cuss words ready that day.
Yeah,
I had a whole bunch of cuss words. I was like, what the hell is this damn sound that's coming through? I was like, you don't hear the static? You gonna keep doing the intro too.
I heard it too. I was confused by it. I was like, what's happening here?
That's part really pissed me off.
Talking,
that was really pissing me off. I was like, so you really don't hear the static? We got a whole intro going on. Like,
I was with you. I was shocked.
Yeah, sure you were.
Quite literally. Did you not hear the interference? It was shocking.
I heard it, Jacob. I heard it.
All right, well, as the soundboard said, without further ado, this is the Monday Weekend Report for the On The Go podcast, On The Go with Jacob and James. I am your host, Jacob D'Antone. Across from me is my co-host.
Oh, Jacob. Oh, I thought you were going to introduce me. Well, okay, that's fine. It's James.
I got to throw you off sometimes.
Yeah. That's a natural reaction. You like these natural, authentic reactions, don't you?
Yeah, man. That's how you get the good stuff. That's the meat. That's the good.
Ooh, pause.
That's the good broadcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're right. I hear you.
Yeah, it's Monday. It's the beginning of the week, everybody. As you wake up and go about your day, or
breath stinking.
Maybe you're getting off from work at this point. So as you're getting off of work and you're listening to us,
I'm glad you pointed them out, because those people never get talked about.
The people getting off of work?
Yeah, the people that never get up, they get off of work. Because we always talk about the people getting up every morning. They go to work.
You know, our episodes come out at 5 a.m. So
true.
If you're a real true listener, as soon as you wake up,
I know we got somebody out there.
You got that notification. I know it comes out pretty early, so I know as soon as you wake up, it's there.
Because you got a lot of truckers out there. You got people working in warehouses. Got security. Like, they never get any love.
I don't think we're getting truckers listening to us, though.
Maybe. Never know.
Maybe one or two. But I can't imagine too many truckers are like, yeah, I'm going to go with Jacob and James.
I know it's not a demographic, but you know what? I like to think so. I hope they don't say it like that, because that sounds very predatorial. But, you know, it's just, you never know who's listening.
Yeah, that's true. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. At least damn it, it's time to give the people that get off of work in the mornings love.
Right.
I'm tired of giving these people that got a good night rest and get up early to go to work. You good?
Yeah. Maybe you work all night, and once you get off, you're like, oh yeah, on the go.
Have you ever worked an overnight shift before?
Yeah.
Where?
Years ago, I used to work at this motel in my hometown, and a couple times I would have to do the overnight shift.
Was it haunted?
No, it wasn't haunted, but it was a cheap motel, so there were a lot of interesting characters.
Oh yeah,
coming throughout that hotel. Yeah.
What did you have to do? Just check them in?
Yeah, I had to check them in, get their information, all that stuff. I had to call the cops on an old lady.
What for?
Oh, because loitering.
What'd she do? She's peeing outside, wasn't she?
No, it's just, so she had gotten every charity in the town to pay for her motel room up until a certain point. She used up everybody, right? And at some point, all the people were like, no, we're not doing this no more. Like, you're not trying to get out or get better. Like, you're literally just trying to live at this motel. So we're not paying for you anymore. And so it came time where it's like, hey, you can't pay for the room. You got to leave. You got to go somewhere. And so her solution to that was just to sit outside in the walkway with all of her stuff. And I was like, look, if you don't got nobody to call or anything, I gotta get you off the premises.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. So I had to call the cops on her. Cops came, and then the first time I did it, they paid for the room for the night, which I'm like, well, that's defeating the purpose. I'm just going to call you again tomorrow.
Yeah. They do the same thing the next day.
And so you know, I think they got like a couple days on her room or whatever. So a couple days later, I was like, hey, same issue. And then she tried to guilt trip me, right? She's like, well, I'm gonna just go stay in the park until I die. And I'm like,
okay, that's fine, but you kids can't die in here.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what you need me to do about that. I can't pay for your room. You know what I mean? So ended up calling the cops again. They took her away. We got her like banned from the premises or whatever. But yeah, I had to call the cops on a little old lady.
How old were you?
I'm a heartless person, James. I was like 24.
24. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man.
That was an interesting time.
Wow. So that was like your first job, second job?
That was like second job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a fun job because it was just, you know, you hang out in the lobby, you're just checking in people. Some people are more interesting than others. You get people traveling, a lot of truck drivers come through, a lot of
prostitutes.
Yeah, but they don't look like prostitutes, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Pimps.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I can't tell. You know, traditionally, no one walks around like a traditional.
Yeah,
pimp,
no one just no one walks around like that. Yeah, I know.
So they could have been, they could have not been. There were some sketchy characters that came in through for sure. You know,
you ever had like a couple that was arguing and just like, okay, here's your key.
Arguing couples, or you know, it's sketchy things, man. Sketchy. I'm trying to think. As I'm talking, I'm trying to think of like, oh, I remember we had this one couple come stay. And again, they ran out of money to pay for the room. So we were like, hey, do you have anybody you can call or we can call or whatever? And I think they had this guy had a mom or something. So for whatever reason, I ended up having to call the mom to see if they could pay for the room. I don't know why I'm doing it. I forget. So I called the guy's mom and she picks up. And I was like, hey, I'm just calling because your son's got a room over here. He can't, you know, they ran out of money or whatever. They said to call you and see if, you know, you'll pay for the room. And she's like, no. And you can tell him we don't ever want to see him again. And she hangs up. And I'm just like, okay. So I think they split overnight because like the next day they were just gone and all their stuff was left in the room. And then the maids just kept all their stuff in the storage area for like a few months until eventually it all got thrown out.
So left all their clothes?
They just dipped. Yeah, they just dipped.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is an off story.
Yeah. We also we would also do things for like Union Pacific, like the railroad people. They would come and stay, and they would get annoying because they had they worked overnight.
Yeah.
Right? But what they wanted to do was they wanted to get off in the morning and then come immediately check in. And I mean, they're almost renting out the whole motel, right? And we had to explain to them like, look, if you want to check in at 6 a.m., you got to buy the night before.
Yeah.
Because if you don't buy the night before and we sell that room the night before, that room's not going to be ready until at least 12, you know, and you want to come and you want to check in at 6 or whatever, and it's not going to work out. And some of them did, and a bunch of them didn't. And so at 6 a.m., they're like, we don't have anywhere to stay. I was like, yeah, but we told you, like, you got to buy the night before. And they would argue. They're like, we're not staying the night before. Why would you pay for it? And I have to explain, like, you don't understand.
Yeah.
People need that room the night before. If you don't want us to sell that room, you gotta rent the room.
Yeah, that'll wait.
Yeah, otherwise you gotta wait. I can't hold rooms just because.
Hey guys, Union Pacific coming through, so y'all gotta hurry and get on out of here.
Yeah,
that logically doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they would get so annoying, and then like rodeo time would come around.
Oh, I know that wasn't fun.
And not the Houston rodeo, or it might have been the Houston rodeo.
Could have been, yeah.
Yeah, but the trail riders would come through and stuff, and then like every time they stayed, it was always a mess because they booked the year before, right? They book when they're checking out. And then things change over the years or over the year, right? Like sometimes rooms break. You got to put them in maintenance or whatever, or sometimes the system fails entirely and you lose a bunch of reservations.
Ooh, that sucks.
Which did happen, and it's always a nightmare dealing with those people because then, you know, the rates change or the amount of days they stay. We had these two twins. They try to pull like a sister kind of scam on us.
Oh, well, I like those little switch.
Yeah, because they would come in and we're like, we don't know which one's which. And what happened was when they ended up checking out, because they ended up getting a refund of the room, or one of the sisters was going to get a refund because something didn't work. So we gave her a refund on it. But what happened was her sister came in and got the refund and then split. Right?
That's smart. I like that.
And so the other sister comes in for the refund, and we're like, we thought we already gave it to, you know, we gave it to your sister or whatever. And she's like, well, she wasn't supposed to get it. And we're like, well, your sister has your money, so you got to go figure that out with her.
You go pull that none of that parent trap over here. None of that
we're like, look, we
here.
gave her the money. You go get it from her. We don't have any more money for you. So it's just
That was a good bait and switch. I like that.
yeah. So
I never knew you worked at a hotel.
that was a
A
time.
motel.
It was a time, dude. It was definitely interesting. Different life.
Like the only time I did like an overnight job was when I worked at a grocery store
Oh yeah.
in Michigan at Kroger's, and they had like this German town.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, they got like a small German town.
Yeah.
Like everything looks German. Like all the architecture
Yeah.
looks very German. So it was just very weird. They had McDonald's. They had all this little weird stuff in there.
Yeah.
So I worked at the Kroger's. That was my first time ever doing an overnight shift. And they told me, look, all you got to do is just unload stuff off the pallet, stock stuff up, good to go.
Mm-hmm.
What they didn't tell us that we were doing this crap in the dark. So it's very rough doing
They don't
like
have the lights
stocking.
on?
Yeah, they didn't have the lights
There's
on.
no like backup lights or anything. What the heck?
No backup lights.
What the heck?
So we have to do all this in the middle of the dark. It was so irritating. I said, this is so stupid. And it was cold too.
And then you're like, I'm leaving Michigan. I'm out of here.
I was damn near close to it. I was like, it was cold. My hands were like
You're
really,
not
really
doing this.
ashy.
Yeah.
Like it was so stupid, man. I hated doing overnight shift.
Do an overnight shift at a hotel or motel. Those are
See, I'd rather do
That's
I'd
a
rather
fun
do one at a hotel.
Yeah.
At a hotel motel. I don't mind. I don't have a problem with that.
I mean, you just all the cast of characters that come through, dude. It's just,
Yeah.
I mean, even Khadija, right? Because Khadija used to work at a hotel.
Yep.
She worked at a hotel by the airport.
Oh yeah.
So, you get all the people coming in from like delayed flights or like, you're dealing with flight attendants and pilots and all this stuff. Or like every now and then you have some prostitutes come through. And it was like, I think Khadija told the story of how like she chased a homeless person out of the gift shop.
That's funny.
She caught him like stealing some chips, and like she thinks back to that, and she goes, "Why did I do that? Like, why did I put myself in danger like that? It's a bag of chips."
Yeah, it's just a bag of chips.
Because also at the same time, like she would sometimes just let people have stuff for free because she didn't want to break open the cash register. Like they only had cash, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm not opening a roll of pennies just to give you some change. You can just take the chips."
It's just like a
So-
30-cent bag of chips.
Right. So she's like she always thinks back to that time where it's like, why did I fight this homeless man on these chips when I give stuff away?
That's how it was when I went to Subway.
Right?
This homeless guy comes in. I'm sitting down eating. Obviously, they seen this homeless guy before. They were like, hey, they're behind the counter. They're not going to stop the homeless man.
Yeah.
The homeless man just takes a bunch of chips and just stuff it in his
What the
backpack
heck?
and just runs out. He didn't even run out. He power walked out.
shuffled?
Yeah, he shuffled,
Shuffled away?
He power walked out of there.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, really?
That's crazy.
Just for some chips, huh?
Like, you ain't gonna do anything about that? No.
Well, I mean, it's nothing you can really do.
Yeah.
It's nothing you can do.
That's true.
You know, and the sad part about it, that's security in the parking lot.
Yeah.
That season when it's going down. But yeah, man, that's I don't really have a good tale like that, a good story about overnight shifts. But other than my hands getting ashy, I left at 8 o'clock in the morning. I was so drained.
Mm-hmm.
I was so sleepy.
Yeah, it gets to you.
I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this no more.
I mean, the shift that I have gets to me, and that's not even overnight.
That's not even overnight.
That's like semi-overnight. You know what I mean?
Semi, yeah, because
Yeah,
you get up
barely.
at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, well, like 3:30, get to work at 4,
Yeah.
work until noon. I mean, the only difference is I'm listening to advertisements and propaganda all day. Essentially, is what it is.
True.
What it is, right? 8 hours of the same topic over and over again is
It can kind of get to you.
really draining.
Oh, yeah, it can kinda, especially the propaganda that you listen to.
Yeah, I mean, it could be 8 hours of anything, and honestly, I'd probably be tired of it no matter what it is.
Nah, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
There's certain things I can't get tired of.
yeah,
Like sports, if it's baseball, I can't do baseball.
yeah.
But anything else, I can listen to like numerous hours, unless it's at the same topic that
Yeah.
you've already talked about.
Well, essentially, that's what it is, right? Because it's the news.
Yeah.
So the news always has to tell you the same thing
Mhm.
because, and especially with how radio works, right? Radio works on the basis of everyone listens in 30-minute intervals, right? You're essentially just listening it on your drive from point A to point B, which is on average about 27 minutes. So naturally, they got to repeat stuff because you might have heard that in that 27-minute drive, but the next guy hasn't.
Yep.
And so that's all fine and dandy for the listener. But for the guys on the other end, the guys on the board, the guys, broadcasting this stuff, it's constant.
Yeah, I
It's the
bet.
same thing.
I mean, that's how it is on ESPN.
Every
yeah.
10, 15 minutes, right? So it's just like all day of hearing the same kind of topics or even same opinions, but like from different voices. It's really all just the same. By the end of it, you're just like, you're so tired.
Could you hear the weather? They
So
could you like
tired.
the weather?
Yeah, they do the weather. We do the weather reports and the traffic reports, and that's fine and dandy. That's useful information,
Yeah, true. That is true.
right?
But I guess we say all that to say we're with you, overnight people.
Yeah,
We're with you, overnight people.
It was a long explanation.
Yeah, we say all that to say we're with you, overnight people.
Yeah, and if you listen to us overnight, great. You are the greatest listener. Thank you.
So you told me that you have a voicemail from Joel Osteen.
I do.
Not the real
actual Joel Osteen.
Not actual Joel Osteen.
No.
Can you imagine Joel Osteen leaving you a voicemail?
I technically live across the street from him when you think about it.
You do.
He's not too far away from me.
You really do.
But yeah, no, not that of Joel Osteen.
You know what? I should have got left with Joel Osteen.
You should have.
Got us more ratings.
It probably would have, right?
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, let me pull this up because you know what? I got a little story about Joel before we get into this.
Oh, story time with Jacob, huh?
Well, so I feel bad sometimes because I get irritated with Joel, but not in a bad way, but just so Joel is someone who just has like a lot of thoughts.
A lot
of thoughts. He talks a lot, very talkative, and I'm not as talkative, right?
You're not.
Unfortunately, more of a listener. So, as I just said, I listened to 8 hours of the same thing, Monday through Friday, essentially, right? By force, not by choice. So,
you got bills to pay.
A bit different. I got bills to pay. I got things to do. So, I spend all day doing that, right? I come home. I don't really feel like listening to things. I don't really feel like watching things, which kind of placates into why I don't watch anything hardly anymore. It's just because like I'm so overstimulated by the time I get off of work. I'm just like, I just want silence, right? So I listen to a lot of rants and a lot of talking and whatever stuff. And like, you know, Khadijah gets off work. Khadijah calls me and she's got to tell me about her day, which is not a bad thing. I'm not complaining about Khadijah telling me about her day.
That's usual stuff.
But it's still just like, it's listening a lot, right? Khadijah calls me, then Joel calls me, answer the phone. Joel's got a lot of opinions on things. He's telling me about like some random rabbit hole YouTube thing he went down that I didn't even ask for. And I'm just like, Joel, what?
It's a rabbit hole.
It is. It is. He's just like, yeah, I was on YouTube and I saw this and it made me think about this. And he's got a like a whole opinion on whatever he's telling me. And I'm just like, Joel, go look at the sky. Go breathe some air. I mean, to him, it's it's a regular conversation, but sometimes a lot of what he says sounds like the rants that I hear on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, Joel.
You hear it all the time. So what you're telling me, I pretty much already heard.
Right. Or sometimes he'll call me to tell me about newsy things. And I'm like, yeah, I heard about this all week. Like, I'm not new to this subject. But in his defense, he's got to seek it out. I am forced to hear it.
True.
So he calls me and he's telling me about all these things, and I'm getting irritated with him, but not in a bad way. I'm just, you know,
it's kind of in a bad way.
I'm being cranky. I'm a cranky
person. Being cranky, yeah.
And so he messes up and he makes the comment that he left me a voicemail because I even forget why he told me he left a voicemail, but he was like, "Oh, I left you a voicemail the other day. I was doing like a little silly jingle or whatever for you." And I'm like, well, you shouldn't have told me that because I'm going to find it. I'm going to play it on the podcast. And he's like, no, you won't. He's like, I know. But he's like, what if you don't find it? I was like, well, I'm going to find it. And then he told me some other story. By the way, this man, he knows we do this. In the middle of this conversation, he's like, hey, are you and James still doing that podcast? And I go, yes, Joel.
Yeah.
Every Monday and Friday.
Monday and Friday.
Why are you not subscribed? He always tells me about all these other kind of like podcasts out there. And it's like, why don't you listen to us?
I'm the main podcast you should be listening to because I'm your best friend.
Yeah, like, listen to me. Don't listen to them.
Don't listen to them.
Don't tell me about the rabbit hole that you went down because you were listening to another podcast. That's why.
Come on, man.
So I was busting him on that, but then he tells me about this voicemail. So I'm gonna play this voicemail that he left me because he told me I wouldn't, and now I do.
I'm curious about this now.
Hey, I hope today was awesome. I hope politics didn't make you sad. I hope you have been got a lot of calls from your mom and from your dad. Oh, I hope you had fun with Khadijah. Oh yeah, she's the best. And if your day wasn't all that great, there's plenty of homeless you can kill. Yeah.
The hell was that, man? Was he drunk when he sent that?
No, Joel doesn't. Joel doesn't get drunk.
Jesus, yeah, you're right. He don't need to get drunk. He don't need to get drunk. Bless his heart.
Right.
Good God, man.
That's what I love. It's silly. It's funny. It's in good jest. The homeless thing was a dark joke. That's Joel's sense of humor.
Oh no, you know what? I'm with him 100% on that. But yeah, no, you ain't gonna worry about that one. We good.
Man, but yeah, he was telling me about it. I was like, well, now you shouldn't have done that because now I'm gonna go find it. I'm gonna play it.
It's good. I like that.
We're gonna joke about you.
I love that.
Yeah.
Like sidebar, when I meet you do our podcast, the only reason why I bring up certain topics is because we don't really talk as much.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
when I see you, it's like, hey, did you hear about such and such? Because when we have to get the podcast together, we have to come up with these topics. And sometimes you really don't know about certain topics.
Yeah, that's true.
And then sometimes you do.
That's true.
So that's the only time I ever bring up, like, hey, you hear about this? Because I never want to be that guy to be like.
Well, see, sometimes I set myself up and I'll bring up something and then I'll set somebody off and I'm just like, why did I do this?
True. Because sometimes you'll bring up a topic like, Jacob, I've already heard this already.
Yeah.
And my best friend does the same thing too.
Yeah.
My guy, Jairus, he does that too. And he's not the only one. His brother will send me like stuff on Instagram. I'm like, so you didn't see the like button that I liked by this message?
Yeah.
You didn't see this?
Yeah. Yeah, no, sometimes I'll set myself up and I'll bring something up that I heard at work and then it'll set Joel off or something. It's like, oh no, I shouldn't have done this. Why did I do this?
Got to know the rules, man.
Like, why?
You got to know the rules.
Why did I bring this up?
I can imagine you just sitting on the couch and just putting the phone next to your stomach or next to your chest and just let them go.
I do. Go. Yeah, I do. I've mastered the art of passive listening with.
Yeah,
I've walked away from the phone entirely and come back.
I was thinking about that. I was about to say
set it down on speaker. Just go get some chips and a drink.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then,
Yeah, throwing in some throwing a little hey yeah.
But that's really that's the thing about Joel though, because he doesn't realize that he's so good at just entertaining himself.
True.
Or talking just with himself. Because at some point he was like, why don't you and I do a podcast? And I was like, Joel, I can't do a podcast with you.
You probably could. It'd probably definitely be more entertaining than ours, probably, huh?
Well, no, because it would just me being like, yeah, okay. And then he would just own the conversation. Joel is a dominatrix of a conversation. He will take control of it, whether he realizes it or not. He will.
Called the podcast.
The podcast. Well, see, I had an idea, and he doesn't think he can do it. But I know he could do it. I told him, I was like, Joel, this is a podcast idea. You call it Joel and the Monkey. You just rant and talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about, and I got these buttons on the soundboard, and I can just load up monkey sounds. And every now and then, I'll hit a monkey sound, and that'll indicate to you to either switch the subject or maybe the monkey's mad at you or whatever. It's just like you have happy noises, you have sad noises. I'll just be the monkey, or like every now and then you'll be like, "What do you think about that monkey?" And I'll just hit the button. That's my response. I was like, you can carry a show by yourself.
He could.
He could do it, but he swears up and down he needs like a co-host or he needs to like do a guest. He's like, I need a guest, and we can do a thing where it's like me and the monkey are talking to the guest. I was like, no, you just need to talk.
I mean, look, excluding the monkey, he really could just do a podcast by himself.
Yeah,
no, he has the talent to do that.
Yeah,
because he has a lot to say.
Right.
And he don't have to worry about someone talking with him.
Right.
That's a talent. Because I can't do a podcast by myself. I tried and it's
hard to carry a conversation, but Joel has 100% carried a conversation by himself on the phone with me. Mm-hmm. Sometimes he'll call me up and I'm just like, did you even want me to talk? Like, what do you...
Or what I think he should do.
I think he just needs an audience.
All he needs is this, a setup. Yeah. Ask the question, then that's when he goes on.
Yeah.
Let him go in that spiel. And then
that is true.
At a certain point...
he has a lot of spiels.
Yeah, and then at a certain point, just... do it like that. Then we go into the next transition.
Yeah.
Ask him another question.
Or that's what the monkey sound's for, right? You hit the monkey sound. Yeah. That's to wrap it up, Joel. Just angry monkey sound.
And you can just
monkey's getting mad. You're talking about this for too long. So I made a jingle for him too.
That, in my opinion, I think he should think about that at some point in time.
It's gonna take a lot of convincing, and maybe if he listens to this episode, which I know he's not going to.
I know he's not. He's too busy listening to other podcasts. It sucks that your own best friend doesn't see your podcast. Like, that's how low we going right now.
We're doing a whole episode just talking about him. He doesn't even know. He's not even listening.
Listen to our own podcast. I was like, you kidding me with this? Jeez Louise.
But I made a jingle for the Joel and the Monkey podcast. Because he also, again, he made the mistake of sending me a soundbite. Because he did a little tune. And so I turned it into a jingle. Do you want to hear it?
I hadn't heard the other one, voicemails. Let's hear this.
All right, let's do it.
Hey, Monkey, do you know what time it is? That's right, it's time for Joel and the Monkey. One is hairy and the other smells funny. Joel and the Monkey. One loves bananas and the other loves money. Joel and the Monkey Show. Joel and the Monkey was not filmed in front of a live studio audience.
I like that. I like that a lot. I'm almost jealous because I really, really do like that.
I know. I need to call him up and I need to ask him to make a jingle for us.
that is dope. I like that.
Yeah, he sent me that in a voice messenger, and I was like, all right, you know what? Let me go find some music.
I mean, like I said, I know this podcast wasn't supposed to be a Joel-centric podcast, but it did turn into one. But I think that he should think about doing that because I think he could do a really good job at it.
I tell him all the time.
You know what? That's all right. When we go play some pool one day, when we go, we could probably get him.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe. He can carry one by himself.
He could. All you got to do questions with Joel.
Really, I would like to just like bring him on for a segment.
What's on your mind?
Yeah, if you're like, no,
I don't know if I'm gonna bring him on for a segment.
Not live.
Yeah, not live.
Maybe I'll call him up and be like, hey, Joel, I need like 10 minutes. So you just tell a story. Because his imagination just goes wild.
Or you can set him up and say, I only need you for 5 minutes. And then he can go over 10 minutes. And then that's all we got him. Right. I say, boom.
The problem is, every time he calls me, I'm never at the desk. It never occurs to me to just pop all this stuff on.
True.
Because I got to plug up the microphones because I still got to talk to him. I can't talk to him without the microphone. So to do all that with him unknowing,
it's gonna be hard to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I said.
And then when he's thinking about it, he's gonna psych himself out.
Oh yeah, he's gonna have nothing to say.
Yeah, he's gonna be like,
and they're gonna make us like,
and then I can talk finally,
and they're gonna make us like complete jackasses because we the ones talking bad about him, and everybody like, see, he doesn't talk at all. You guys were just jiving on him the entire time. I said, no, he does this. I swear he does.
He does this. It's real.
We're not crazy. We're not crazy at all. So yeah.
Yeah, that's my little my Joel story.
This podcast became a Joel centric. I can't wait for you to see what you're gonna name this one.
It's okay. I hope he listens to this one. I hope this is the one that gets him.
Send it to him.
I will. I'll be like, you need to hear this.
You need to hear this. Like,
and then he takes it the wrong way.
Oh God, I hope not. I hope not.
Yeah. This all comes from a place of love.
Yeah, it's all in love. Everything we say is all in love.
This is from a 15-year-old friendship that's just
no,
like an old married couple at that point. You know what I mean? Where you're just like grouchy, but you tolerate it.
Like at a certain point, it's like, you know what? This is what we are.
Yeah.
This is just who we are. So you just deal with it. You deal with it. You know I love you. You know it. God, man.
We should have done this in like 3 weeks because it could have been a birthday episode for him. His birthday is this month.
Oh, when is it?
In like March 24th, I think.
March 24th.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Watch
me be wrong, and he's gonna give me crap for it because he always gets my birthday wrong.
Okay, that's fine. You can throw back at him and say, "Hey, you subscribed to the podcast yet?
Yeah, you listening yet?
Cause we still have 4 subscribers.
We talked about you a whole episode.
A whole episode.
Have you listened to it?
A whole doggone episode. We need to meet at least 5 subscribers.
Yeah, right.
Come on, man.
Oh man, yeah, you're right. We talked about this way too long, but
hey, you know what?
Content is content.
Monday.
Content. I got to play some silly things.
It's a slow day, man.
Hey, there's nothing much else going on.
Nothing much going on.
I mean, I could just tell you about how I'm just drained.
Yeah, me too.
Drained from work all the time.
Oh, you definitely I can tell you that. I'm drained from past relationship with trash.
Yeah.
Learn my lesson, man. I learned my lesson. Sometimes you got to hit your head. When you hit your head so many times, you learn your lesson.
Yeah.
And I definitely learned my lesson from this person.
Sometimes you need it. Sometimes you just need the eye opener.
And the whole
Sometimes it takes you a little bit longer too,
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, the whole time I was telling Jacob about this, by the way, he was just like, yeah. I was like, that's the part that really sucked. I was like, Jacob, you don't have nothing to interfere in this. I know that it's hard to talk to you about that type of stuff. Well, so it's like I understand it's kind of hard for you to, that's why I really don't vent to you about these situations because I know it's hard for you to like kind of get into it with that.
Yeah.
But it has just, like the past couple of weeks has been kind of rough because it does suck.
Yeah.
Whenever you go through something like this, but it is what it is. You learn your lesson.
Yeah.
I'll never make the mistake again like that. That's for sure. I know my worth.
Good. You should.
Yeah, I'm worth more than 20 minutes.
Definitely.
It's a conversation of 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And the conversation that we did have was always about work.
Oh, yeah. That's never fun.
Yeah,
Unless your job's cool. Like you work overnight at a motel.
Yeah, right? You see a whole bunch of prostitutes and stuff.
Yeah, man.
And fake pimps.
Yeah.
And you kick out a homeless woman.
Yeah. Or, sometimes Khadijah's work stories are kind of interesting because she works at a donation center.
Well, see,
or a
that's
plasma
different.
donation center. So she's got some interesting tales sometimes.
Well, see, that's different. And I don't want people to get confused. It's like, well, you don't like to hear about your person, talk about their work? No.
Yeah.
When you're married, it's a different story. Because when you come home, you tell her about your day.
Yeah.
She tells you about about her day.
Well, I feel bad because my day is objectively so much easier than hers.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously.
It's like, I pushed some buttons today, and sometimes I have to push extra buttons.
Heard about Trump today.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Or, sometimes it's like, I pushed the button and it didn't do the thing I wanted it to do. So I looked like a fool.
Everybody laughed at me.
Yeah. Or, one day I brought down the station for 30 minutes and that was really upsetting. But
You did?
yeah.
Wow. I never knew about that one.
Yeah, that's
Damn, what'd you do?
Okay, to be fair, what we use at work, sometimes we take phone calls. And what we use at work is the phone calls come through the board, and it's like an internet program that we use. We don't have a physical phone. So what happens is people can you can change the channels. You can change what goes through where. So if I have like phone A on channel 1, I can change it to another thing if I needed something else. Right? Say if I needed to use a microphone in the studio, I could change it to that microphone. At the time, the board did not have a way for you to go back to the phone. Like you couldn't change it back to the phone without resetting the entire board. And the particular station that I work at, and that board's got to be connected 24 hours. You can reboot it, but it's kind of tricky. So I felt confident one day, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna reboot it because I didn't have phones and I couldn't like talk to guests, or whatever. So I was like, I'm gonna reboot it because I know what to do, and I rebooted it. It did not connect. Ooh. So for 30 minutes, I was on the call with tech support, 2 tech supports, because I called the local engineer and I was like, hey, this is what's going on. So he goes, okay, let me connect and try to manually do it for you. He couldn't do it. So then he had to call the other tech support who were just way off site, and they had to like manually connect us. It was a disaster. It was like 30 minutes, worst day of my life.
That sounds like a disaster.
However, immediately after the live show, engineer comes in and sets it to where you can now recall the phones back on the board.
Oh, wow.
So lesson is if I need to get something that I need, just bring down the station for 30 minutes.
That's sad. That is sad and funny at the same time. So you actually helped, and at the same time,
it helped and hurt. Yes.
Yeah, it helped and hurt. I know you got chewed out, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
No.
I explained the situation. I was like, I needed the phones.
Yeah.
Like I had no way to get the phones except for this. So it's not my fault. It's configured wrong. But I might cut this story because.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a good story. I like the story.
It's not a bad story.
Yeah, I mean it's nothing bad. You didn't say anything bad.
That's true. I'll edit it down a little bit. We'll see how I feel in post.
Nah, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this story. I love. Today was a centric. What you call it? A Jacob story day.
Yeah.
Jacob and Joel story day.
Yeah. Look at that. Sometimes I don't have content. And sometimes I do.
Well, you had content. I had nothing.
Well, I had content thanks to Joel.
Yeah, true.
Hey, that's our Monday episode, guys. Hope that was a great start to the week. Let us know what you think about Joel and the Monkey. Should that be a thing? Should that be a thing I should continue to try to convince Joel to do?
You be part of the On The Go brand. The first person.
The On The Go umbrella.
Yeah, the On The Go umbrella. Yeah.
I'd really love to just bring it on for a segment, just to have it be a piece of the show for.
Didn't have a spinoff
every now and then.
He has his own spinoff.
Yeah, I gotta work on him. It's hard to work on him though, because again, he talks so much. He's got to break in, and then he's got so many other ideas, and it's like, no, Joel, just listen to me. Just listen.
I want to be here for that too.
It could be this way. It's like, no, I need guests. What if we talk to different people? It's like, no, Joel, just you, just you and a monkey. Just
I know the monkey like, I don't want to do it no more. I'm good. I don't want to do it no more. I'm good.
I mean, in reality, I'm the monkey, right?
True, yeah.
I'm the one who's just like...
The finger gonna get tired. The finger's like...
But anyway, let us know what you think. You can email us at onthegopod2023. Or I don't know why I always say at.
Yeah.
onthegopod2023@gmail.com. You can email us. You can find us on Instagram, on the go, Jacob and James, all one word. You can find James on Instagram at
9794.
You can find me on Instagram at jacobdantone.audio.
And we're also on YouTube.
And we're also on YouTube, On the Go with Jacob and James. Segments. Every Monday and Friday, at least, there's segments coming out. Or not the full shows. And I'll post segments. I'll post shorts. I'm trying to keep up with it, you know? So you can find us there. If YouTube is easier to subscribe to, do it.
Please subscribe to YouTube, people. It only takes one click of a
Subscribe
button.
everywhere. Listen on all platforms. If you listen to us once, just mute the other ones.
Just mute it. And
let
just
it play.
subscribe. Yeah, just
let it
play.
roll.
That's all you gotta do, people.
But anyway, so without further ado, I'm on the go. James is on the go. We're all on the go. Bye.
This concludes the Monday Weekend Report. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have. I yearn to one day live a life of adventure and fulfillment, to feel the wind on my faders, and the sunshine on my circuits. Until then I shall remain on this desk, listening to Jacob and James tell their tales to the world. Have a great week, listeners. Look to the skies and breathe some fresh air for me.